And we are
Oh my
live.
god, dude,
What?
your voice sounds like it's like fucking vaping.
I hope I don't sound like I'm vaping. That's something
Like
I
it
don't
sounds
do.
like it's like gurgling, like.
Stop it, man. If I want to vape, it's my personal business.
It's my freedom, man.
Vaping is cool, man.
Oh god. Yeah, I think this is a Discord problem, to be honest with you.
I don't think so.
No, because it goes out clean on my end on YouTube. Because with the OBS, I'm having it go just as like the audio source. Like it's not like picking up the Discord audio. It's just the source right from this mic, and it's perfectly clean when I talk, no matter what's happening. Anything coming out of Discord gets. So.
Oh no, man. You might.
Oh, I will tell you before we dive into all the news and stuff. I'll tell you because you know what you wanted me to do. You want me to use my PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guess what? I tried to do that, and it was not fun.
Why?
Because my mic wouldn't work because the drivers for it don't work on the latest updates for Windows 10.
Yeah, it's a Windows 10. What the fuck mic do you have?
I have the Behringer UMC2, whatever it is. It's a fucking standard audio interface that many people use.
Hey Phil, don't you use a Windows computer for your audio shit?
Yep.
But he uses a different audio interface than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. Might be your computer's like shit. Need, like,
well, yeah, it's Windows. That's why.
No, I think you might just need a sound card. You can get into that.
I mean, the audio interface. Well, the audio interface that I have is probably one of the best in the business. Whereas, I don't know what the fuck Sean has.
It's probably some voodoo shit.
Voodoo shit.
Some bastard wonky product.
It's just like,
God damn it, just slap it on there, goddamn.
It is a perfectly fine audio interface created by the wonderful people in Germany. Okay, well, technically it was made in China, but it was designed in Germany, made by some 12-year-olds in China for 5 cents, and then shipped to my home. It came in a day. It's fabulous. It does not have the coronavirus.
Sounds fabulous.
Oh shit, we're demonetized.
We said the C word.
You said China, we're gonna take you down.
I'll say the no-no word.
Yeah, don't say the C word. How do I get this in streamer mode? Fuck. Because like it will mute all your notifications and everything. I can just put on do not disturb. Okay, whatevs. Okay, one thing I wanted to show at the very beginning, but we went off topic as usual, but that's fine, is if anybody missed it, the Trump press conference today was must-watch TV. It was awesome. He took a flamethrower to the media, and I was just eating dinner, and I looked over at the TV, because we always have on during dinner, we always have news on, and it was on CNN because my mom turned it on. Go figure.
Oh, God.
So I went over there and I started watching it, and it was unbelievable what I saw happen before my eyes. It actually made me sit up and just put all my attention to it because it was unbelievable what was happening. He had the TVs up on the side of the press briefer, and he said, well, we're going to play a quick video before we go any further. And he plays this video that shows a compilation of all these media people, all these fake news reporters saying, the coronavirus, oh, it's just the flu. It's not going to be a big issue. Oh, the coronavirus is this and that. And Nancy Pelosi saying it's xenophobic. All these other people saying his travel ban is racist. Like I said, Nancy Pelosi calling the travel ban to China xenophobic. All these clips, one after next. Boom, 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 boom. And right as it starts transitioning into the part where he's talking about his accomplishments, in the video and what he's done, CNN cuts the feed. They go back to Wolf Blitzer, who goes to Jim Acosta, who wasn't even in the briefing room. He was I guess, playing in the playground outside. And he says, I'm glad you cut it, Wolf, because it seemed like a campaign video.
That's
I
a good
was
idea.
It was genius. This was a master stroke, a power move. It literally, I've never seen anything like it at a press briefing, and it was awesome. He showed the media right in front of their faces how stupid, wrong, and fake news they are, and they couldn't handle it. It was gorgeous. I loved it. He came out there as a total winner. It was a masterful persuasion play. It was killer. I mean, it was remarkable because it showed he trolled the media perfectly, because I think he knew they might cut away. And by cutting away, it shows they're fake news. They don't want the truth coming out. They don't want the White House press briefing that they complained wasn't happening for so long, and now that's happening. They complained it wasn't happening, and now that's happening, they don't like it, and they're cutting away. It's a total win for him. And I think this is the work of Kayleigh McEnany, the new White House press secretary. This is probably her doing, and maybe Trump's too. It was a genius, masterful move. They need to keep doing this kind of stuff. This is great. This is how you bring the fight to the media. And this is why people hate the media, is because they're so bullshit. They're so full of it. Like, oh, we're so truthful, and oh no, we're reporters. Yeah, we report the news. No, you fucking cut the feed.
We're not it's like, yeah, we're not the enemy of the people. Like, no, yes, you are absolutely are an enemy of the fucking people. And like you got at CNN and MSNBC, they're playing to their small base. Like, they're playing to their extremely small fan base. That's not reflective at all of the greater America. And you're starting to see, you're really seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as that, like, people are saying, some people look at CNN and MSNBC and they think that it's like they're playing they're playing actual news, but it's just bullshit to entice the whatever small fan base they have.
And the thing is, Trump was just playing what these people have said. He was showing them what they said, and they said his accomplishments. I mean, they just couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle him attacking him. They always hate it. And so they had it out for him. Okay, this just doesn't stop here. This is what was remarkable about it. Because we turned to Fox News to see the rest of the briefing, because CNN wasn't fucking showing it. But then I went up on my computer because I wanted to get video of what just happened. I wanted to screen record. So I pulled up the live feed of CNN on their website. And I started seeing the headlines. You know, like the little headline they'll put at the bottom of the screen of whatever they're talking about? I'm going to show on the stream here what these said. It is cartoonish. It is beyond parody. I literally thought, has CNN been hacked? Is this the first one? Trump, it says breaking news. Everything's breaking news. Trump refuses to acknowledge any mistakes. Okay. Next one. This is a good one. Trump uses task force briefing to try and rewrite history of coronavirus response.
Well, no, it means fucking true things he was showing. It wasn't like he was voice dubbing them or something.
He was rewriting fake news and showing people what actually happened and showing what he's done. But they're literally putting an opinion in the headline here. Trump uses task force briefing to try and rewrite history. What the fuck is this shit? I mean, I was showing this to people and they didn't believe it. They thought it was fake, like somebody photoshopped it.
I thought it was fake. I thought it was fake when I first saw it.
And the thing is, look, I'm used to CNN exaggerating things and doing their fake news and saying silly stuff, but this was so bad. Like, it was a absolutely new low for them that I couldn't believe it. It was one of the few times the media shocked me in a long time. And this is my favorite one. This is the best one. Angry Trump turns briefing into propaganda session.
Who the they said? It's not propaganda if it's true.
No.
Who the fuck? Like, he literally goes through a compilation.
It has to be false. Alex is right. It has to be false to be propaganda. Not false.
it was literally just fucking recordings of what the shit they said.
Yeah.
So I don't really see how that could be.
And really, if it's propaganda, but he's playing actual CNN and MSNBC
Well, what
clips,
does that tell you about CNN?
Yeah.
then technically isn't CNN and MSNBC propaganda then by their own words,
Yeah,
or
who the fuck do they
how are
think
we
they
playing that?
are?
How are they going to try to play this?
Dude, this is the news network. They gave Hillary Clinton the debate questions ahead of time. They cheated the debates. This is the news organization that cut Andrew Yang's mic during a debate. This is the news agency that Project Veritas investigated, and when they got on the phone with Jeff Zucker, found out he was basically setting the news of the day. I mean, they are a propaganda news organization. The projection is unreal. Like, I thought they were hacked. I mean, it was unbelievable. Who are they to say that it's a propaganda session? I mean, can you imagine how crazy that is? They're calling the White House press briefing a propaganda session on CNN. Absolutely just disgraceful. And here's another one. This is the last one. Trump melts down in angry response to reports he ignored virus warnings. It's just the amount of editorialization's unbelievable. Just unbelievably bad today.
Speaking of other news, I heard that Twitter deleted the account of who's that?
Bannon's podcast.
Yeah, what the hell's
I
going
was
on
going to
with them?
mention that. We have 2 Twitter bans. Yesterday on Easter Sunday, Censor.tv was banned. That's Gavin McInnes's website that has Milo, Laura Loomer, Gavin, and a bunch of other people's TV shows banned on Twitter. So not only is Milo banned, Gavin banned, Loomer, their own network is now banned on Twitter. And you can't post the links on Facebook. And then just a few hours ago, looks like I don't have the screenshot here, but just a few hours ago, Bannon's podcast War Room was suspended on Twitter.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's nuts.
So those are 2 massive Twitter bans of 2 influential platforms gone.
And then and it's like, okay, so these people are saying stuff that's offensive apparently. All right. Meanwhile, China apparently is blaming Africans now for what's appearing like it appears like there's going to be a second wave, like
Yeah.
from all intelligence is what all intelligence is telling us, that there's going to be a second wave of this coronavirus going on in China. So what they're doing, I think they said they're blaming Africans, because there's like
That's
Shenzhen.
racist.
There's a piece of a piece of Shenzhen that's like they call it Little Africa or something like that, because there's a lot. There's
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like if any of our country, like if we had that
Yeah.
shit in America, do you know how quickly CNN would be like, "Oh, this is terrible," but no, I don't see a single fucking thing from them about China. They're in bed with.
Okay. So here's the thing. So they've been basically ripping. They've been ripping these black people out of their homes, and basically, I mean, essentially leaving them homeless, because like they're not allowed back in their homes. They're not allowed back in their apartment units or wherever they're living in. They're not going to be allowed to stay in hotels. So basically, essentially, they're homeless. And then, so there was a McDonald's. There was a McDonald's in China that had a sign that said, "Here, let me read this," because I couldn't even fucking believe this shit when they said it. We've been informed. From now on, black people are not allowed to enter the restaurant. For the sake of your health, consciously notify the local police for medical isolation.
Yo, send me this shit. I don't believe
that's
this.
Like fucking like apartheid shit right there.
Dude,
how can they
that's Jim Crow. China is literally adopting Jim Crow policies.
Literally, yeah. It's like they're the people are trying to tell us that we're fucking racist, and they're actually doing it over there.
That's
Like,
Could you
why
crazy.
would
imagine? Could you
you know,
imagine a sign like that coming over here?
Dude, that business would be burned to the ground, looted,
Yeah,
and the owners would be castrated on social media.
yeah.
yeah, that's bullshit. That's fucking wrong on so
That's
many levels.
fucked up.
So many levels.
But see,
But
this
it's
is
like,
what we Americans. Okay, I'm gonna bash Americans for a little bit right now. Okay, I'll make you happy, leftists. Americans are so naive of this shit. They think the rest of the world's like us, or can easily be like us, and they're all so accepting and tolerant. No, this is a case of this is just isn't real. Especially in China, like they are hella racist. But
yeah, they put a. Did they let? Yeah, they made the sign. They had it laminated, and they put that shit in front of the fucking restaurant.
oh, they put work into this. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah,
Yeah, guess who's not talking about that?
CNN.
Fucking CNN. They're talking
yeah.
about Trump, being racist or whatever, but fucking Chinese, they're actually fucking like super fucking racist. Not even just to like black people, but to, like literally everyone who's not Han Chinese.
Yep, that's
They
exactly right.
fucking like yeah, they say Trump is the worst thing for Muslims, but you see China over there, they're having a genocide of Uyghur Muslims.
And they're saying, oh, he's the worst president for black people. It's like, dude, have you seen what's going on in China right
Well,
now?
they don't have. Well, see, technically, it's not a president. That's a fucking dictator. A fucking communist. It's not.
Yeah,
Totalitarian.
yeah.
The prime minister, whatever the fuck you want to call him, chairman, piece of shit.
Oh
we're
my god.
about to get we're about to get banned on YouTube in 5, 4. No, I'm just kidding. No,
The only thing I'm wondering is why is this written in English?
uh,
I probably wrote it.
well, I
He
mean, well,
translate.
because it's, it's the universal language of the world. It's not like,
Where'd you find this too? I'm curious.
oh, I found it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let me actually Google
Eh,
this. It's gonna
Yeah,
Google
it's got
China black
black
people.
bullshit.
Black people are not allowed. Reports of discrimination after Chinese city or oh Jesus.
Yep.
See again, at first I'm like,
Whoops.
is this too good to like too bad to be true technically? Like,
No, 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 no. It is bad.
God, this is really bad.
Like actual fucking racism.
Yeah, because
Adam,
usually my mentality whenever I see news or anything, it's like, oh, that's too good to be true. There's no way, or that's too outrageous to be true. This is one of those cases where it's fucking true.
hmm
Well, it's China. Like literally nothing surprises in that country
Yeah.
anymore. Like they literally banned like fucking what you call it, Animal Crossing in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it's
because
pretty
people
funny.
were protesting online over there. They banned fucking Winnie the Pooh because people made fun of their fucking leader. Because he looks like a fucking kid bear,
he does.
little piece of shit.
I have to say though, that is genius of the Hong Kong protesters, because not only did they hijack a innocent game to spread their pro-democracy message, but they got the Chinese government to ban an innocent game that millions of people play. People are gonna be pissed off at China now. It's like, oh, it's like Gamergate. This is like China's Gamergate. You take our video games, we're gonna fuck you up.
Gamers rise up.
Yes, Chinese gamers rise up. Oh my god. Speaking of gamers, Leafy is back on YouTube. He's been posting videos every so often for the past like 2 weeks. He posted one about iDubbbz being a cuck, and then he posted one about to yesterday about H3H3 being a total cuck.
He fucking is. Like his wife's like literally has a fans only account or girlfriend or whatever the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty bad that you allow that shit to happen.
That's cucky
Especially
behavior.
for someone used to be so like against that stuff, for him to now start to deal with that.
Hypocrite.
Yeah, they fucking are, man.
Maybe there's something else I was gonna talk about. Now I already forget. It's been like couple of things just flying around in the zeitgeist. Oh man. But yeah, I wonder if Leafy's gonna make a full-on return though. I think he might, because he's already sort of testing the waters. But I think he will get banned from YouTube. I'll predict it now. If he does do a full-on comeback, he's gonna get banned.
Well, I think that's probably why he left, was because like when he started, like they didn't like YouTube was a lot less nutty than they are today.
Right.
Like you could get away with the shit that he did, obviously. But like,
you know, one of my, I know this is totally random, but like my favorite thing to see on YouTube over and over again is the fucking Hong Kong protester going, Donald Trump don't trust China. Donald Trump don't trust China. China is asshole.
Based.
They fucking are, like, dude. Fuck the Communist Party of China.
The Chi-Coms.
Yeah.
Is that a racist word? Chi-Coms?
No, it's Chinese communists.
Because Alex Jones says it all the time. The Chi-Coms. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should start using that term because that's kind of appropriate given our current situation.
Yeah, no, like everything that comes out of them, like it just keeps getting worse, and like you think it's like a fucking joke.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's fucking real.
Yeah.
Like, when does the fucking ride end, man?
Well, I think global Navo posted an interesting tweet today. He said globalism has ended. The second Cold War is starting. I totally agree.
We thought that the fucking Soviet Union was like the worst one out there, but it was really
China.
the Chinese thing.
Dude, we've been saying it.
Like, I was listening, like, I had that guy that I listened to on YouTube who was from like Soviet Ukraine. He has some like interesting insights into how it was actually like living in the USSR. And apparently China and the USSR must went to like nuclear war once. It was over some bullshit border dispute, I think. But like they really didn't like each other. Like at one point in time they were friends, but I don't really know what happened. Like I think
they had a falling out.
After Stalin died, like Mao got all pissed off that like they were trying to not be so like tyrannical. So he was like, "Fuck you guys, you're not even socialists anymore."
You're not socialist enough for us.
Yeah, like, because if you look at, like, Mao and fucking Stalin, they're very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they both just, you know, they're complete fucking dictators, charlatans. You know, like, what they say that Mao did, like, he killed all the doves because people were finding joy out of them.
Jesus Christ.
And then he forced, or it was, like, pigeons or something, and ended up, like, causing a huge plague of, like, fucking bugs because they used to eat those. And like they try to go and get fucking like a bunch of hicks to go and do like a bunch of guys from the country to go and do all the city jobs, and all the city people to do the country jobs, and it kind of fucked up.
Yeah, I wonder
like
why.
They tried to industrialize in a ridiculous way, and it just led to huge famines. Like, it's every fucking time they try communism, you know, it's the same fucking result. There's always famine. There's always tons of death.
It's like cocaine or it's like meth, actually. You go, oh, I'll try it. What could go wrong? And you're fucked up. And then somebody else tries, like, oh, it can't be that bad. I mean, what could go wrong? You're fucked up. You know, it's like, doesn't anybody learn? It's like this drug that nobody fucking learns. You know, you get high off it at first. You're like, oh, it's so lovely. Oh, it's going to be a utopia. It's going to be fabulous. We're going to have free shit for everyone. And, you know, there's going to be no property, no hell. It's just going to be amazing. It's going to be wonderful. Big businesses, they're going to be good now. Everything's going to be cheap. It's like, no, that's not what happens. It gets worse.
That's the way it goes, man.
The thing I was going to mention, actually, was about somebody we brought to Penn State last semester. It's not Sargon of Akkad, it is Hunter Avallone. He posted a video recently, I think it was on Easter, titled, Why I Left the Right. And I will say that's a good clickbaity title, but that's not going to go well over your audience. And the comment section and the like-dislike ratios showing that tremendously. And look, I think Hunter's a nice guy. I think he's a decent guy. especially after I met him. But I think he's making a big mistake here. And if he is watching, which he may be or may not be, I will say, dude, you need to reevaluate what you did in that video, because you kind of misdefined what the right was. It seemed like he thought Nick Fuentes was what most of the right was, even though Nick Fuentes and the Groypers and those type of people are a very, very small minority of the right. And if he thinks gender is a social construct and transgenderism is a medical issue and not a mental issue, like, he needs to do better research, because none of that makes sense. I mean, I just did a paper on gender. I literally just turned it in an hour ago. And gender is biologically influenced. If you were born with XX chromosomes, you are a female born with sexual hormones. And if you are a male with XY chromosomes, you are born with male sexual organs. And when you have these sexual organs as a male, you will have predominantly male sexual hormones. You'll have some female sexual hormones, but it's mostly male. And that's why you're a man. That's why you're masculine. Some people are more masculine than other men. Yeah. And some women are more feminine than other women. Do we really have to do this one again? We do.
You know what? Okay.
We do. That's the sad reality.
There'll be like 0.1% of people that are born with like some genetic abnormality, and then they're like, oh, well, see, this happened, so therefore, gender doesn't exist because like 10 people or like 100 people in the fucking world.
Well, you know what? Yeah. Maybe that's a tidbit of actually new information that I found out, because I looked into intersex, which is the only thing that's kind of like this third category here. And it said on Wikipedia that as of 2006, in clinical settings, the term used for intersex, like the categorization of it, is, quote, disorders of sex development, DSD. So it's basically, to put it bluntly, a disorder. It's a birth defect, if you want to phrase it that way, but that's technically not entirely accurate. But it's not normal. It's not what most people are, and that doesn't make it a third category. That makes it an exception, not the rule. But
and it's like I hate hearing people say, "Oh, I'm a woman born in a man's body," or vice versa. I'm like, look down, okay? you are what your fucking genitals say you are, okay? Look, and it's okay. It's okay to be a feminine or masculine, regardless if you're male or female. That's okay. Okay,
yeah,
it's fine. But when you tell me that you're when you're a man that was born in a woman's body, I'm like, no, stop that shit. Okay, you're fucking crazy. You need to talk to somebody.
You're denying biological reality.
Yeah, it's like stop that shit. Okay, science gave you your parents and all that shit, and biology gave you a penis or a vagina, okay? That's what you run with. And it's like your day, like look how many people that get these surgeries, right? They get these gender reassignment surgeries, and then they fucking regret it. And then the worst thing is they can't like undo it because they've already done so much damage. Like, I just like, look, just talk to somebody, okay? If you're feeling that way, just fucking talk to a mental health professional. Please, for the love of fuck.
And the thing I thought was hilarious when I was researching all this, because the direction I took the paper in was interesting, because the professor started off the prompt with, Miley Cyrus says gender is over. First of all, she's a credible source.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, if gender is over, then that either means there are no genders, there's an infinite number of genders, or whatever it is. And I said, well, then that's implying, and a lot of these people believe this, that the future is non-binary. And non-binary means you can choose whatever gender you want. You're not constrained to the gender binary, man. You can be free, you can be whatever you want. Well, it's funny because of the transgender population in America, which is about 1.4 million people, which is I think 0.06% of the population, only 35% of them identify as non-binary. And that's kind of, when you think about it, laughable, because these people are literally transitioning to another gender. They're acknowledging the existence of two genders. Like, I don't like this gender, I'm going to be this other gender. And if you say you're a non-binary trans woman, are you really trans then? I mean, like, it doesn't make sense. And even if you take in that account, like, the population of non-binary people in America, or those that think they're non-binary, is like 0.0006% or something it came out to. I'm like, yeah, this idea of gender being over is not catching on. Because number one, it is physically impossible, as I just explained how sexual hormones work. And number two, most people aren't even buying it. I mean, it's silliness. I mean, I think we're going to look back on this and think, wow, this was a weird time we lived in. We thought men could be women and women could be men.
Who knows? You know, it could be even worse.
Yeah, probably.
It could be.
If I was to put money on it, I'd put on it that it'll get worse. Like, it'll go the other direction.
I think they'll find something else, because you notice it's always like a new thing. You know, it's. I'm not trying to lump gay people into this stuff, but this is just the progressive doctrine. Like, the progressives started off with, okay, let's legalize gay marriage. It's like, cool, I agree with that, fine. But then they were like, you know, let's create transgender as the next, like, letter in this special alphabet. Let's put the T in there. And so you have LGB, now T. They might add an N for non-binary, even though that's not a sexual orientation. Transgenderism isn't either. So they keep looking for new things. First it's LGB, then it's the T's, transgender, now it's the N's, the non-binaries. Like, what's next? What's their new thing they're going to concoct?
Yeah, I always wonder if there's like a Truman gang running the show in the media that's
Truman
like,
Show.
Yeah, like if it's like a Truman Show running the media going, you know what's going to be really cool, man? If you become an attractive trans person, like, really fucking, like, yeah, just fucking lunk your dick off and, you know, insert some, you know, tit packets and just really go at it.
Tit packets.
Like, what the fuck? Because it's like, I can't hear, like, or what about, you know, it's really cool, man, just having kids dress in drag and then dance for fucking old perv dudes. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us? Like,
hey,
dude,
let's bring them to the schools too.
Yeah. Like, little.
Maybe that is the next thing. Drag shows, drag queen story time. That's the next thing.
Well, they already have it. It's not the next thing is already here.
Well, it is, but it's not not many people know about it. Like, everybody.
No, it's out. Like, it's out there.
Dude, if you ask the
like,
average person, they don't know what the fuck that is.
These pieces of shit are dancing for people that should be in the registry.
Like, and the fucking fire halls. Like, it's pretty mainstream.
What were you
now.
saying?
They have fucking drag shows at the VFWs and fucking fire halls near me.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't have any of that near me.
That's surprising, because, like, it's so weird. Like,
dude, you have furries. We don't have that.
Well, no, like, this
Pittsburgh is progressive bird.
No, this was in Beaver County. Like, you'd think Beaver County, like, they're, you know, they usually want to deal with that shit. But, like, I think it was either the VFW or the fire hall. Where, like, one week they had, like, a gun raffle, and the next week they had, like, a drag show there.
God,
like,
something is wrong here.
It's like fucking, like, Joe Exotic level shit.
Oh, we should talk about that too. But what were you saying, Phil, when Alex was talking?
I totally forgot. That I think that VFW thing's funny, man. I've seen some things and some goddamn stuff, man. I've been to war, god damn it. I've seen people get their dicks blown right off. And it's
Well,
like
Then
all of a
then the
sudden
drag queen comes in and they're like, but that.
you've told me some stories about some shit in fucking Thailand. I mean, that doesn't like drag queens doesn't seem too crazy when you have that shit going on.
it is when they're children.
No,
It
no,
is when
I
they're
don't think this
fucking
was for
children and
kids. This
shit.
wasn't kids. This was adults. I
Oh,
think.
they didn't have Desmond is amazing.
No,
I mean,
no,
you
they
could,
it was at the fucking VFW just with like drag queens.
Desmond's the kid that does this shit.
Oh god, yeah, I remember
Don't you
that.
remember Desmond?
I
Yeah.
feel bad for his parents.
I
Well, no, I
don't.
don't feel bad for his parents. I feel bad that his parents allowed him to do that. Let me
I think
rephrase.
it's like I fought in the goddamn war, all right? If I want to get a lap dance from RuPaul, that's my fucking prerogative.
I like your new old vet voice. Oh god.
That trips me out that they have him in the VFWs and shit.
I'm just trying to picture
Like-
that. Like these old like World War II vets with their army caps on, they get wheeled in on the wheelchair and they have like, you know, big glasses and then they just see this fucking like this creature just like rise up and spread its pink and purple wings and they're like, "What is that? Is that a phoenix? Like what is that?" No, it's a drag queen. Whoa. They're probably like they're gonna get a new form of PTSD from this.
Look at they're looking up porn. I like my chicks with dicks, man.
Back in my day, they were called she-males.
I just keep thinking like She-Man, like fucking He-Man, but with like
He-Man.
their own tits.
Dude, they made a she. Did they make a she-man or she-ra? It's called she-ra.
Well, I think that's a different. I think that was supposed
It's
to be different.
progressive.
I don't know, man. Some fucked up shit.
But here,
Like,
let's. What was that?
Well, I looked at a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to fucking cry. Seeing Dwayne Wade and his Gabrielle Union, they have a transgender daughter.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, no fucking
How old
lie.
is she?
Like what? I want to say either 9 or 11, something along those lines.
9.
And like real young, like,
Dude, that's fucked.
and they're like, oh, and I think they were like, oh, our daughter taught us some shit. Like, what the fuck
What
is your
the
daughter
fuck?
teaching you? You know, like, oh, he's.
Did Phil die?
I guess it must have got a fucking brain aneurysm.
Anyway, we will transition back into our discussion
Yes.
on drag queen story time. You know, actually, I think YouTube probably like deleted his account. That's what happened. They demonetized him, and then that wasn't enough, so they just terminated his account. Oh well. Anyway, we'll find a new co-host. So, Drag Queen Storytime is very degenerate, as we all know. But what is after that? What are they gonna do next? Get into
I
the
don't
progressive
know.
mind. Imagine what will they do?
Sex ed for kindergartners, but I think somewhere they're probably already doing that.
Yeah, they gotta do something crazier. What's something crazier?
No, fucking. What would be worse? Like,
Yeah, what is worse?
I don't know, like bestiality sessions, like repealing bestiality laws.
Pedophilia.
Yeah, I mean that's always on their mind.
Meet
I think
a
that's
pedophile.
that's all that's all the fucking goals for this. I'm like that fucking like I'm a pedophile, not a monster bullshit that they tried to hide.
Yeah, they deleted that article.
Yeah, they like the same people who like start going after Milo for fucking joke. They'll like make this shit up. Like you can't fucking make these things up, man.
Dude, what if they think we need to rehabilitate pedophiles, and the best way to do it is to make them comfortable around kids so that they don't touch them or anything. So let's bring them to schools and have them read stories because that will
I,
fix their problem.
I could see them start to like mass market like child sex dolls to like pedophiles.
Yeah.
As like, and they'd be like, oh well, see, this is a treatment for pedophilia. You know, they're not banging like human kids, so this is a. They'll start with shit like that, and they'll have like all these fucking like games. So like, oh okay. And I think eventually, once like we're talking like the cyberpunk levels, they're gonna start like manufacturing like synthetic humans
Yeah.
for like
Fucking
sex.
replicants.
Yeah, but like kid ones, like it's gonna get really fucking
No,
disgusting.
I could see that. That's actually a good point. What were you saying, Phil? Because you kind of died on us.
I know. Yeah, it's fucking computer. Anyway, no, because Czar Wade. I don't know if it's a dude transitioning into a female or vice versa, because
Oh
they didn't
boy.
really say much. But it's like, yeah, this whole thing is fucked.
I don't know, man. Like, what they got some other weird shit too. 'Cause, like, I'm surprised they haven't tried to go harder with polygamy because they'd actually have people who would support that from the Mormon community
Maybe
and
that's
from
why
the
they
Muslim.
don't do it.
Like, I like because they're all for that too. Like, I'm surprised that honestly, like compared to all the other stuff, that would have I would have thought that would have been first before they gay marriage, like allow polygamy
Yeah.
because they have a few allies out there that aren't within their own communities.
Here, I'm gonna throw out this question because I'm kind of curious. Even though I wouldn't practice polygamy, why is it illegal?
I think you start to have a like. Can you imagine child custody with
Oh,
polygamists?
jeez, yeah. So which
Yeah,
husband are you gonna be stuck with, Jimmy?
Like, how the fuck would that work? Like, okay, so you'll have them on the weekends, and you have them on like three
you'll,
weekdays, and
yeah,
another.
you'll have a total matrix of fucking bullshit that you're gonna have to deal with the child custody thing. That is a wreck. That
It'll,
is a wreck waiting to happen.
it'll be like the middle school schedules where they'll be like, okay, this is week 1. This is when you get to be with mommy number 1, and then week 2 you get to be with daddy number 1, and then week 3 you get to be with mommy number 2. Oh, or they could like color code or something. Like, this is the red week. This is when you're with daddy 1.
Mm. So we're gonna do a whole bunch of drugs and commit suicide. Is that how it's gonna end?
At some point, maybe. And then you will have one less daddy. Wow, isn't that great? Oh, this
Oh,
is so
geez.
progressive. Progressive. Just lovely. Minecraft is kind of.
Mormon's already kind of was one of those things I never really understood. I guess.
Dude, Mormons are weird people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
when I was in Utah, they must have made all the tables extra long just for them at restaurants, like, because they knew they'd be
mm,
coming in, and when they come in, you know it because they come in and it's a couple, they sit down, and then there's 7 kids come in, and they're all blonde haired, blue eyed, dressed the same, matching socks and shoes and blazers, whatever the fuck they have on. They all are just identical, and they come in like these like fucking little militias. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, one kid's already too much, but you have like 7. I mean, this is okay. If you are a white nationalist, you should be a Mormon. Because if you're worried about preserving the white race, fucking Mormons are the people that are doing it. For better or worse, they're doing it.
they don't care. They don't care if they're turning their fucking family tree into what looks like a DNA fucking chain.
Monstrosity.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We gotta keep them white. God damn it.
Gotta keep them pure. Even though I'm a quarter black, we're gonna keep it pure somehow.
It's like it's just I don't know. I just never understood the craziness that is I
Wignats.
mean the the Mormon thing. Like I'm like with Mitt Romney, because my guess is he's probably the most,
Most famous Mormon.
famous
Yeah.
Mormon of them. I'm like, why would you? Why would you? Now, see, this is where the Republican Party fucked up too. Like putting
Yeah.
him out there. Like you really like you basic. Like, were they trying to give Obama 4 more years that year? Like, was that the plan? They were like, well,
Romney was a false flag.
they were like, we could beat this guy so bad, we'll put a Mormon in there. Fuck it. Like, no,
Yeah, the more I look
thanks.
back, I'm like, how did they think Mitt Romney was a good idea? Like,
I know.
I mean, I don't know who else I would have picked necessarily or like pushed to run, but like Mitt fucking Romney. This was the best.
I would
we
have
could-
rather had them run fucking Joe Exotic than Mitt Romney.
I was gonna mention that we need to talk about that documentary. I mean, a new episode dropped yesterday, like a sort of epilogue. I'm gonna watch it before I go to bed tonight. So this is like an incomplete review, I guess. But do we want to review it right now, or do we want to wait for that till we all watch that episode?
Well, I think we ought to wait till we watch that whole new
Yeah.
episode.
Okay.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I sent you the article that was saying it was coming, but it dropped yesterday. It's basically an epilogue, and it includes some stuff that they didn't talk about. Like, one of the things, I mean, I guess it's not really a spoiler of this shit at this point, but you know that dude with the cowboy hat, like Kirkham, whatever his name is? The guy that would smoke, and he would, like, talk really, like, rough.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I looked him up. He had a coke addiction. No, yeah. What was it? It was, yeah, I think it was a crack cocaine addiction during, like, when he was producing other shit. And he literally, and I'm not making this up, he was conducting an interview with George Bush, I think the son, and he was on drugs during the whole thing, on coke, and they were talking about drugs.
Oh my god. He's like, this is surreal.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not certain on this dude's credibility, but he did say, this was a story he told about Joe Exotic in this, was that Joe was at his park and some woman gave him a horse to look after, and once the woman left, Joe said, "Hey, turn on the cameras," and he turned to the horse, and I forget what he said, but he pulled out his gun and just shot it in the head.
Holy Joe?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
I know.
Yeah, you know.
And apparently he had a secret ex-wife and adult son.
Joe?
Yeah.
Oh my god, like this guy there's more and more shit with this guy.
I think that's why they had to make the extra episode, because they're like, shit, there's more.
Is it me or just Carol Basket look like Hillary Clinton?
Yeah, she acts like, I don't know, like, see, that would be funny if it was fucking like, that's pretty much how like the election was. It was like fucking
Carol
Joe Exotic
Basket versus
Carol Basket.
Yeah, Carol Basket for the Green Party and Joe Exotic for the Libertarian Party, head to head.
Oh my god, dude, that would be the shit.
Here's the thing, and I don't know if it's how the documentary displays Joe, but he's honestly kind of likable. You know? Like, he is funny. He's a little crazy. He's a character for sure. But once you hear some of these bad stories, then you're like, dude, this guy's fucking nuts. But at the same time, I often wonder how much of this is really true.
Like, he's fucking larger than life.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those sort of people.
I think part of me, like me specifically, I just fucking hate activists.
Yeah, I know.
I do. I despise activists, really, of most kinds. And of course, Carol Basket.
Dude, Carol
not only did
Basket, if how about we just go on a rant about her, because I fucking hate that bitch, as he would say. She is crazy. first second I saw of her, I immediately hated her. She
Mm.
just screamed crazy cat lady that had some sort of like issues. And boy did she. Everything in her home is tiger this, kitty that, kitten this. And she is just wacky. And her husband, oh my god. I mean, her current husband. He is such a cock. Oh my god. He is so beta and weak. And then her previous husband, well, we all know what happened to him.
Mm.
Jesus Christ. So the thing is, like, Joe ain't wrong. Joe ain't wrong. What he eventually does do is wrong, but even that,
Well,
I
is
mean-
it really? Well, you know, if she fucking killed her, I mean, yeah, you can't be fucking putting hits on people. But
is he
I don't know, how-
justified? She's
did
if
he
she,
ever? Did the money actually change hands?
see, that's the thing they never really clearly said in the documentary was if that hitman dude who looked like an asshole, that dude's just like fucking just raunchy as hell. They never say really if he got the money and if the money was for that, if he even got it. I mean, I forget that part. And they even said that the charges were flimsy. Because
Yeah, I think Trump should give him a fucking pardon. Dude, I think that would boost his fucking popularity.
Trump pardons Tiger King. Oh my god.
Like that would be a very interesting world we would live in.
He made a video on Trump. Did you see it?
No.
Yeah, he's like, I forget what he even said, but it was just fucking funny. He's like in his cage with his tigers just talking about Trump. He's such a meme. Oh my
Yeah, I
god.
love that fucking meme where it's like you see how libertarians see themselves, the dude from Parks and Rec. And it's like how libertarians are in real life, and it's fucking good.
Joke, like, I love that meme, dude. I posted on my Facebook, and like a friend of ours was like, "As a libertarian, I'm not even offended." I'm like, "Yeah, 'cause you know it's true."
Yeah, that's pretty much cool.
See, that's the thing. Is like literally libertarians think like they're these intellectuals. Oh, we're so smart and we're so well dressed and mannered. We're so sophisticated. But in reality, they're a bunch of like fucking like trashy, like poor, degenerate people. And I hate to say, I mean, some of them are pretty cool people. Like I did like the dude that saw the very tragic thing in this documentary. Like he was talking about like the feds, and he's like, I can already tell when you're talking about Joe running. He's like, he doesn't even know what libertarianism is. And I'm like, he's a libertarian, spoken like a
Yeah.
true libertarian.
I mean, no one fucking knows what libertarian is. Even like actual fucking libertarians.
But then he goes like,
it's this
frankly,
fucking broad spectrum. I mean, like he represents the libertarian. He does drugs. He like shoots guns.
he's gay.
He has fucking like exotic animals that people probably shouldn't be fucking having.
He hates
You know,
the feds.
he puts hits on people he doesn't like. Like this, it's the same thing. Like you'll see libertarians defending the dude who used to run the Silk Road, like Dread Pirate Roberts.
Oh
'Cause
really?
he like put a hit on some guy with like Bitcoin. Like it was pretty like that's another interesting guy out there, and there's this huge movement to get him released. Like I'm surprised I went to a documentary about that dude because he's. I mean, it won't be quite as crazy as Tiger King, but he's got some interesting stuff on him too.
Yeah, they should. I mean, the thing too that really got me was that they put him away for 22 years. And then he started releasing all this shit, like his dirt he had on other people. I wonder what else is in there.
Yeah.
And even I don't even remember, like that Jeff Lowe dude, the dude with like the Chad that came in with the Ferrari and was trying to clean his place up.
Fuck yeah, he's fucking shady too. Like all these fuckers have something on them. Like you have Jeff Lowe, you have the fucking dude who was that? The guy who had like 9 watt. Well,
Oh
one of
yeah,
guys
the weird
9 watt.
dude with like the
You
white
have, like,
hair.
the fucking Scarface dude. It's like what the fuck? I was just gonna get fucking tired just so I can start meeting the characters.
Don't we already know enough characters like this from Penn State?
No, no, that like I mean we have some funny ones, but like nothing like Joe Exotic or like the fucking dude, like the yoga dude,
Yoga dude.
or like the fucking like cocaine motherfucker over there who
Mm-hmm.
claims to get it do his like cocaine business to support his tiger habit.
Mhm, mhm.
Wait, which dude was that?
He was in Florida, I think.
Oh, yeah. I remember that dude now. Yeah, like the fucking Pablo Escobar type dude.
Yeah.
But
He-
that Jeff Lowe dude, I fucking hate him. Almost more than Carol Basket. There was such a demeanor about him that feels slimy, scummy, and just. And I don't use this term lightly, but like legitimately like misogynistic. Like he seems like a fucking like wife beater. And then he gets away with everything. He's probably the shadiest dude in the whole thing, and he gets away with it. That
Yeah.
pissed me off, but it sounds like they're kind of going after him, so
I
lock
think
him
they're
up.
going after Carol Baskin now too.
Dude, they should.
Yeah.
That bitch is crazy.
Well, they're going after her because of the first husband, right? They could
Oh,
try to
what'd she
figure
do
out
to
what
her
the fuck
second one?
or was it the was it the first husband or the second husband that went missing?
I think it's her first one.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they're I think that's what they were like investigating or
Oh,
whatever.
yeah. Dude, that's weird. Weird.
Yeah,
Oh,
something. Yeah, I mean, that just doesn't happen to normal people.
she probably killed him and fed him to fucking crocs or some shit.
To the Tigers.
Yeah.
Thing is, I honestly think Joe started off with good intentions, and I don't think he was necessarily a bad dude. I think he's crazy, and I think as his life got bigger, he got crazier, and that's where you ended up where you did at the end of it. Because, like, his presidential campaign, his governor campaign, where he was fucking putting his face on condoms and then giving it out to, like, people, including
You know,
kids.
they should go and get those ones at Penn State.
Yeah, oh, dude, we should do that. Like, that thing where they hand out free condoms, like, just swap it for Joe Exotic condoms.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh my god, yeah, that documentary was something else. I'm glad you pushed me to watch it.
Yeah, dude, it's a cultural phenomenon. You had to see that shit.
It is. That's why it came out at the right time too, during the coronavirus when everybody's stuck inside, and when everything's already crazy in this world, and Netflix was just like, "Hey, you want something even crazier?"
Yeah.
Oh man, it's funny shit. That's why I say, well, for our TV show that we want to do, should we do it like a documentary style, or should we do it as like an actual fictional, but based on a true story TV show?
That'd be pretty interesting.
I think we would have to do it this not necessarily sitcom style, but kind of like an atypical style where it's like, yes, it's kind of serious, but it's kind of not.
I don't know, man. You could have one with a similar shit as this.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was wondering. If you could do it in a documentary style, maybe that'd be kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this probably would have been better as. I think our thing is a little bit different too. Probably would have been better as a specifically like a TV show or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more lighthearted, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we've been getting new material over the past few days. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. I'm doing some worky stuff.
Well, anything else interesting happening or anything else crazy?
I can't think of anything. Anything interesting with the current illness that's been going around?
Well, the only interesting thing was the press conference today. That was something to see. That was pretty remarkable. But other than that, it's just been the usual crap. I mean, we're over. Let's see. I think we're well over 1 million cases. Let me check the stats I have on the fucking video. We're 1.9 million cases, almost 120,000 deaths, and almost 500,000 recovered.
Yeah, didn't they say New York is starting to kind of turn a corner?
I think so, because Trump was touting a lot of good news today, like the fact that they didn't need so many ventilators and other things.
Yeah. It just feels
I gotta use the restroom.
Have fun.
all right. Don't drown.
Don't end up like Carol Baskin's husband.
Yeah, I mean that's good news. I felt like once India decided to lift their exporting, I thought that was like really good news.
Oh, did that happen?
Well, no. Originally, because India, like the hydrochloronic or whatever they call it.
Hydroxychloroquine.
Right, that one. Um, like India is like the big producer of that.
Yeah, I heard they weren't exporting it, but I didn't know they changed course on that.
They did. They had an export ban, just like a temporary export ban, like to make sure that their own people were taken care of. And of course, that's a big deal because they have so many fucking people. But like, but yeah, but I guess Trump talked to Prime Minister Modi, and then I guess they kind of smoothed things over or whatever, and made it happen. Made the trade happen again too. So
that's good.
And yeah, I mean that's big because like they produce the majority of the world
hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, that one.
Well, speaking of India, it says India will extend its nationwide lockdown until May 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
And they clamped down hard.
Yeah.
Like they told everyone you can't go out.
They were kind of like sorry. They were kind of late in the game as far as actually getting the coronavirus.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we were going to be one of the first people to get it because, I mean, look at New York. New York is like the international hub for like trade, finance, everything.
Mm-hmm.
So travel.
It's the city.
Yeah. So yeah, once it left China, yeah, New York was bound to get it. And then because it's so populated, like if one person has it in New York, it's going to contract a whole lot of people in a short amount of time. So, yeah, I'm grateful that they're flattening the curve. There's just something I just look. I don't know what to believe anymore. I gotta be honest. Like China's BSing us left and right.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I just like then just Democrat run states. I just don't trust them. I just don't fucking trust them. California, New York, all that shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, I that's why like when Cuomo was asking for like 40,000 ventilators. I
I
mean,
mean,
dude, there's so many other states that need them. I mean, you're asking for a lot, like way more than it sounds like you need, and it turns out it was way more.
yeah. I mean,
And of course, we can't. See, this is the other thing that's been annoying me, is this whole thing about, oh, the models are changing. Yeah, no shit they are, because we're learning more, and we're getting a better sense of. Oh, I found a shipwreck. We're getting a better sense of this virus, because models are always wrong. Climate models are wrong. Economic models are wrong. All models are wrong because they're predictions. They're guesses. That's why they have a range on there. They can't predict the future. They're making a guess. And when they beat up, look, I've had my problems with Fauci, but when they beat up Fauci for saying, well, we don't know what's going to happen. It could be a lot of cases, could be not so many. He's saying exactly the most accurate thing you could ever say, which is we don't know. We have a guess. It's going to be somewhere in this range, probably, but maybe it won't be. We don't fucking know. And I don't think you should beat up anybody for these models for being wrong.
yeah. I mean, I trust. I don't. I again, and this is another part why I don't trust the news either. It's like you would think in the middle of a global pandemic that there would be more of an informative focus on making sure that people get their information, people get the right information to make themselves safe and make themselves more knowledgeable should they get into trouble, but it's just it's turning into the same hit pieces than before the virus. Like it's just like anti-Trump rhetoric and just bullshit. It's just
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. Like
Well, these are
I
the
was
same people that believe in climate models. Remember that. These
yeah,
people that are knocking these models, they believe in climate models.
and I'm like I was watching I was flipping around on YouTube. I was bored one day and I saw that I think I saw John Oliver,
Oh,
like
God.
he 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 was bashing One America News,
Of course
and
he was.
I was just I was looking at it, I was like, okay. On one hand, I'm like, what a piece of shit for fucking banning this news station. And then on the other side, I was thinking, wow, OAN is really starting to come up with something. Because if a mainstream dude like John Oliver is making fun of you, you're doing something right, or trying to, throw shade at you, you're doing something right. But
Yeah, they're getting more
yeah,
attention, which is good for them.
yeah, and they deserve it. It's a really good. I mean, I really, I know we've said this before, but I really like OAN. I really
Mm-hmm.
do.
Me too.
Like it just has that. It has that old school, uh, like it has that old school way of doing news. Where they report on stuff, and if they report on stuff, they try to do it, objectively speaking, and then if they like and they have their opinion pieces, but it's not like it's not really overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
And you do have you do have shows like Tipping Point with Liz Wheeler, which I really like, by the way. um and even the thing with Chanel Rion, right? They the White House correspondence is so like
Mm-hmm.
whatever. whatever it is. They tried to keep her um out of the press briefings or whatever, and it's like,
The one thing I didn't like that she did was that one of these press briefings, she started comparing something to abortion. And I'm like rolling my eyes thinking, this is not the place for that. That's just stupid to
yeah.
bring that up now.
I
But
mean,
I think
it's
she has
yeah,
room to learn, and I see potential. So I,
yeah.
I
I mean,
hope OAN actually starts bringing more people on the sort of like, like Gavin McGinnis or Milo, 'cause they've had him on before. They have Jack Posobiec has his own show. If they could be the more edgier Fox News, I think they would have a good market there.
yeah. You you MSNBC and CNN are gonna hate them because obviously you know, they're conservative and they're getting a seat at the they're getting a seat at the table that like these other outlets feel like they don't deserve, that OAN doesn't deserve. And Fox News hates them too because
Their
look,
competition.
they're competition. For a long time, Fox News used to be the only fucking pony at the show, and now, now you got a couple of outlets. You've got a couple of places where you can, get some good conservative content. Um, so yeah, now you have to, they're gonna get hate from every angle, and you know, and that's something they're gonna have to deal with.
Speaking of every angle, I just saw
I'm
trending on
back.
Twitter. Yeah, here you're back. Justin Amash. I'm like, oh boy, what's this idiot doing now? And this is an article from the Washington Compost. Independent representative Justin Amash says he's looking closely at White House run with the Libertarian Party.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
he's
idiot.
not gonna go anywhere.
If he takes votes away from Trump and fucks over Trump in some states, I will be ready to fucking go Joe Exotic on his ass. Because that is gonna piss me off. And I'm joking, obviously, for anybody asks.
No,
Just
I don't think.
joking.
I don't think he would even begin to get the kind of votes that it would take to completely throw somebody off. Like you got to be somebody. Look, you got to be somebody to really take it to him in that nature.
Yeah, but
Like
fucking Gary Johnson was getting, in some states, a
yeah, but Gary Johnson
decent
was
polling.
look, Gary Johnson at least the first time he ran, he ran. I mean, he was definitely he was definitely one of the more entertaining people to listen to. I didn't
He's one of the
agree.
dumber
I most
ones.
certainly didn't fucking agree. Well, I mean, I didn't. I most certainly didn't agree with most of what he said, but it was at least kind of entertaining. And so, I mean, you know, like libertarian is something that's like intriguing to some people, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't like with Amash. I don't know. He just seems like a very bland, very flat individual, and I'm like, I don't know. I
I
don't know. It just doesn't seem like he would gather the kind of attention that would be required to really put a dent in the election. Um,
I hope he doesn't. I don't think he will, because the good thing is Trump supporters hate him because he's one of the people that was one of these principled conservatives that thinks it's principle to impeach Trump. I mean, he's such an idiot. But libertarianism, I've honestly come to the conclusion of that it's for children. I'm not saying that to be mean, but it's genuinely an idealistic thing, like socialism. It's for children,
yeah,
and if you
I've always said that.
you
I've always said that libertarianism is and socialism are two equally bad dreams.
well, because it honestly, I literally have this is where I came up with this because I've known so many people that would say that are around my age, like, yeah, when I was in high school, I used to be a libertarian, and now I'm more conservative type, or now I'm more Republican. And so now every time I hear the prelude of, well, I used to be a libertarian, I just interrupt with, and then you grew up, because that's literally what happens,
Yeah.
is they grow up. And I hope everybody grows out of it, but I still know some people that haven't grown out of it.
I don't know, like libertarians a big tent.
See, that's what libertarians always say. And then they say, well, you don't know what libertarianism is, or this is libertarianism. They,
You know, like
They don't even know what libertarianism is.
yeah, they
yeah,
don't.
it's like the autism spectrum. You have the people who are like
It's a spectrum, man.
like you have the people that are like completely autistic and like can't wipe their own butts and stuff like that. Then you have like people like Einstein and stuff who are really smart. Like libertarians, they sort of are similar. Like you have the ones who are like, oh, that like they follow the NAP as like guideline to life, and they're basically anarcho-capitalists. And then you have the people who, they like limited government, like sort of like in the
Yeah,
minarchist.
but Republicans like live in a government.
Depends.
I mean, if you separate the authoritarian ones, yes.
Well, authoritarian is like libertarian's sort of like a modifier, like authoritarian. So like if you go and look at the political compass, you have the one side, and then you have the other side.
Yes.
And I think that's that's one definition. They're more towards like in that bottom quadrant. So technically, anything in the bottom quadrant's technically libertarian.
But see, this is the one I've never understood. Is like a libertarian lefty. What does that look like? A left-wing libertarian.
Like a hippie kind of. They don't like that big government. They're the type of people that would go and they'll go and like smuggle like the milk that is like non-GMO, like the unprocessed milk and shit.
Oh God.
They grow like weed and stuff.
I thought you were gonna make a joke about me because you were talking about milk right there.
No, like they actually do that, especially in PA because there's a big Amish community. Like they'll go and like buy the milk and stuff, and they'll like do like fucking weed and stuff and like other drugs like that. Like free, they don't care. It's drugs.
Do what you want, man.
Yeah, they're just not authoritarian. They don't want to force you to go and like conform. Like you'll see that a lot in like hippie communes, I guess. I mean, it doesn't usually work out too well for them, but like that's sort of on the more extreme side. And then, kind of like the centrist libertarian, they just kind of want people to, let them be.
They're the libertarians that compromise.
And I guess like they just kind of have the, they're like, oh yeah, I don't like I'm fine with gay people, I'm fine with like light drug use, yeah. Then the right wing libertarians, you have like people who like 3D print guns, live off grid,
Based.
like, sort of preppers. Yeah, like I mean, you have a whole gamut of people. Like it's, you can have left wing libertarians, like they're the type that don't want the government to be involved in like their polygamous gay marriages, stuff like that. And the right wing libertarians, the right wing libertarians.
Yeah,
probably. I think a lot more media attention recently because they're interesting people. Like that's right wing libertarian. Like you start going to the far source side of that, that's like fucking Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
To a certain. He's probably actually like a centrist libertarian actually because he is like gay.
Yeah, but there's a lot of right-wing libertarians that are cool with gays. I mean, that's kind of their whole shtick on the whole sort of gay acceptance on the right kind of came from them.
Well, yeah, and that's sort of like with the libertarians, like there is good stuff to be had from like libertarians because like who's that guy like WikiLeaks? That's a libertarian ideal, like that whole sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like an authoritarian right winger would be against that. They'd want to have that dude executed. Like same thing with like Snowden. So like I once like it's hard to go and like you can't really classify them all because you have certain stuff like that.
Oh
like
yeah.
I mean the right's sort of made up of both ideals. Like they want, less surveillance. Like authoritarians, they're fine with surveillance. Like I'm more concerned with authoritarians, honestly.
But didn't you on the political spectrum come out as pretty much far right authoritarian?
Yeah. No, there's. I mean, you kind of have to give a little bit of respect to those libertarians, though, because I don't like the fucking government surveillance.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
about it.
again, everything's a balance. There's libertarianism can work in small certain ways, and some authoritarianism can work in some certain ways, but at the end of it, it's a balance between the two. It's again, I'm always a pragmatist. I really have realized over the past about 2 years that I'm not an ideologue. I'm just a pragmatist. Whatever tool I need, the work best to complete the job is a tool I'm going to use. I really don't care where it's coming from. I don't care what brand it is. Whatever tool is best for the job is the tool I'm going to use.
Yeah, that's sort of like a centrist sort of ideology too.
I'm
Where
Hunter
they'll kind of
Avalon.
take. Oh God. Yeah, it's interesting too, because like I never really cared for the guy who's like, oh, you knocked up a friend, like big fucking whoop. That happens all the time. I mean, it's nice. Like, I mean, good job on not leaving her getting an abortion, but like, how do you fucking build a YouTube career out of getting someone pregnant? You know, we have enough like of that shit going on everywhere. Like, I just don't understand why I got made into that big of a deal. Like,
Well, that wasn't what made him
honestly,
big either. Like, what made him big was that he was kind of this, he was a sort of a different shade of Milo in a way, where he was very provocative, offensive, and shocky type, and that's what kind of got him out there. But he has changed his mind on a lot of things, and I'm not entirely understanding of why he has, because a lot of it just doesn't make sense. Like the whole gender's a social construct thing, dude, that's just flat out wrong. It makes no sense. I don't know why he's even saying that. And
No,
then,
I think because he realizes that he's not really success is not really following him on the right anymore. So now he's like, oh, well, maybe I could just, you know, try the left. Like I think he milked the right dry, and now he's trying to fucking grab a hold of the other side. But I'm not sure that the left is ever really gonna
they're never gonna
like
accept him.
embrace this guy. Yeah, I don't think they're ever really gonna embrace him. So he's probably just gonna fizzle out. Which
It's
I
really
mean,
stupid if that's his intentions. That's really stupid, because you're now pissing off
probably
both sides.
it's probably a move of desperation. I don't know. I don't know if it's so much.
wasn't
I,
he arguing like again, like that the right wasn't being discriminated against too? Like the dude sound like, a fucking cuck from the time that I heard of him. Like I'm glad I wasn't on that fucking interview with him because I would have grilled his ass.
Well, he didn't say anything
Like
on the.
honestly, I want to go and grill Sargon more because that dude's full of his own shit. But you know,
I really like Sargon. I think.
yeah, I definitely liked Sargon, and he definitely I like.
I don't know. That dude calls people like fucking child groomers. You know, that's pretty fucked up to go and levy accusations like that. And if this
Yeah,
was anyone else other than Sargon, you guys would probably be fucking pissed. But when Sargon
yeah.
does it, you know,
Well,
oh,
but
Well,
it's
no,
didn't he have
I
evidence?
didn't like.
no. How the
I
fuck do you
don't
have
like.
evidence that some dude's fucking grooming children
I thought he
Yeah.
had
on the fucking?
screenshots.
How is he grooming children? I'd love to go and see that evidence over
Hmm.
here.
I mean, again, I
Would,
don't remember it.
would you like? Would you really like to see that evidence?
No, I think he's full of shit because fucking Mr.
Yeah.
Medicare didn't
I don't.
endorse his like run on UKIP, which to be fair,
Yeah, but he wouldn't. Why would he care about that? Mr.
because he
Medicare is a
fucking wanted to
little.
get validation.
Like,
Yeah, but Medicare is a very little known YouTuber that nobody in the UK probably
No,
knows.
dude, he was the one that like they say Sargon broke Gamergate. Nah, dude, it was Mr. Medicare. He
I don't
broke
know
that.
who broke Gamergate, but even then, most people don't even know what Gamergate is, except young people.
Well, yeah, that's most people don't know who Sargon is. Young people.
But I mean, if Sargon's trying to get, support in his UKIP run, it's not going to be through people like Mr. Medicare.
He was. You can look at the streams for that. I can find those. Like, cause he was like begging him for. Mr. America told him like no, because that's not like Mr. America really isn't that political to channel. He got butthurt over that, and like during like he was there during the Spencer debate too, and like Sargon. I don't know.
He did not
He
perform well in that debate.
and he also really fucked up on that other debate at like MythCon, I think, where he
No, he
was
did
like
great in the MythCon debate.
the one he did good, but the other one he was like telling them to like shut up and stuff.
I'd have to see it. I mean, the thing is like
Like he even admitted to it. He had a video where he admitted he didn't perform that well. It wasn't the first one. The first one where he was against, I forget who it was.
there's that Thomas dude.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. He went back another year and then it like fucked up pretty well.
I mean, I'll just say from my interactions with him, he seemed like a very nice, genuine dude. And I like when I ever hear something negative about him, I will be skeptical of it 'cause it just doesn't feel right. I mean, there could be mistakes he's made, but you know, like again, the Richard Spencer thing was, you know, he didn't perform well, but that is what it is. It doesn't like make me like hate him or anything. That's the thing. I'm the type of person where I understand when people make mistakes, and I'm not gonna just jump ship.
Well, no, I mean, I had no problem with him until he started attacking Mr. Medicare. Like, I'll be honest with that. You know, I used to go and listen to Sargon for a while, but like, I don't know. I don't
Because
know some of that.
again, I don't remember where he got that grooming stuff from, but I do remember he did have some screenshots that showed Jim talking to younger people in a certain way. That's what I do remember. Again, I don't remember what it said or if it's enough to call it grooming, but I do know he did have something. Like it just wasn't out of thin air.
I don't have to go and see those screenshots, but
Yeah.
I just don't like people levying serious like child abuse accusations against people.
Oh yeah, I know, but
Like that's something like honestly, I just find that to be very immature to go and say that. Like that's especially for someone like who used to be friends with them. Like I wouldn't say like you were a fucking child groomer. Like I probably would go and call the police if anything if I knew that you're actually like children. I won't go and like bring that up on YouTube.
yeah, I don't know. Again, I it's one of those silly drama things I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to, and just saw bits and pieces and was like, okay, whatever. That's the other thing is like the only drama I genuinely like is when people get exposed, like Lauren Southern, stuff like that. That's the stuff I'll get invested into. But like stupid sort of name calling, mudslinging, it's just like okay, whatever. This is just YouTube drama. But like the Onision stuff, the Lauren Southern stuff, that's what gets interesting because that's actual shit that's like showing that somebody isn't who you think they are. That they have some skeletons in their closet. Like Lauren Southern is now married, has a kid. And that's after she was being a total e-thought.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm doing some work stuff.
Like I often wonder if shit's gonna come out and some like worse shit's gonna come out in Nick Fuentes. Because they already kind of tried to take him out and they've banned him on some platforms, but something about that guy that I don't know. I feel like there's something else. And that's not implying I know something, but
You got some insider scoop.
I wish I did. I'm not that cool. But his Groiper gang, folks, got really pissed at Milo recently because Milo's trying to teach him a lesson. Like he was like insulting them or something and they couldn't handle it. They got like really triggered. Trying to find my house in Minecraft. I'm lost again. Okay, zombie, get away. Ah, fuck, respawn.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, spaghetti-o.
Let's see.
What did Carol Basket do to him? Did Joe Exotic do nothing wrong? Joe Exotic. Yeah, one dude he married had like no fucking teeth.
Yeah.
What did he see in that dude?
I don't know. I mean, dude married like 3 other guys, so it's like, well, that's probably an asset not having teeth for some of the stuff they can do.
Well, actually, you know what was weird? I just remember this part. Like, apparently his first 2 husbands didn't... They weren't actually gay.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're bisexual if they participate in gay stuff, but...
Or he's got that charisma where he can turn straight people gay.
Dude, is that like... Is
Doesn't
that...
like, when you think about that, doesn't that kind of like invalidate the fucking gay identity?
If that's real, yes. But I don't believe in that. I don't believe you can just turn somebody gay with your fucking, like, Chad charisma.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, somehow he did. Like, maybe they were biased with like dating chick, and he really didn't seem like he was gay. So I mean, I guess maybe he was somewhat bisexual. But I guess if you have enough charisma, you can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. If you're
Like,
Joe
if you're
Exotic,
that
you could do
fuck-
whatever you want.
yeah, it's kind of so weird. Like that dude can figure out like these sort of like magic shit.
It's magic shit.
Just like change people.
Changeling. Yeah, that Jeff dude would like go to Vegas. He like bang a bunch of chicks. Like he would bring like his tigers up to the hotel room, and like lure chicks in with it.
How the fuck the tiger? That's like really fucking creepy. Well, how's he even bring the tiger in the hotel room? That's
Dude,
like...
they told you how. It's pretty fucking sick. He didn't bring it like in like a kitty carry-on or a pet carry-on. He literally put the tiger in a fucking suitcase and brought it like on the plane and then brought it into the hotel.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Like I said, dude, Jeff Lowe is probably the worst dude in the entire documentary. Other than the hitman dude, his like right-hand man, the ex-con, that had a fucking teardrop tattooed, meaning he killed a person. Like, that couple are the worst in the whole documentary, and they're still walking the streets.
Yeah, that's the fucking truth of it, man. There's no justice, no peace.
Free Joe. Jeff for prison. Lock him up. That's what makes you wonder, like, if the shit Joe is saying about Jeff is fucking true.
I don't know.
Because the Jeff guy, he kind of tries to act like a Chad, but he's not really Chad. Like, if you need a fucking tiger to get chicks, like, dude, that's fucking sad. Alright, I guess I'm not gonna find my home. I am lost. Anything else you want to shoot the shit about before we shut her down?
Yeah, I don't got anything.
Guys, this has been like 30 days in fucking lockdown. Almost.
30 days and 30 nights.
Yeah. How's your job been?
10 more. It's been alright. I mean, A lot of junk's been coming up now because the malicious people they don't take a holiday. You probably got more people now than ever.
Yeah. This is a stupid question. I don't know if you would know this. 'Cause I actually need to just look at the thing itself. But I got reimbursed for CPAC from the Penn State ASA office. And they sent me a check. Dude, can checks expire?
Yeah, you probably want to submit that soon.
That's what I thought. Because they're not like traditional checks, but they're basically a check. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Might be maybe I can find like an ATM to do it. My parents let me out.
Oh my god, don't be such a bitch.
Well, they'll be asking like, where are you going? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'll have to find time when I have to get milk or something and do it then. Because the thing that pissed me off too was...
Just say, hey, I need to cash a check. Okay, boom.
No, but they're going to say check
You're an
for
adult.
what?
A check from school.
For what?
Reimbursement. None of your business. I mean, it's really not.
Technically, yeah.
Like, just say none of your business. Okay. No, just say I got a check for, say it was for like, I don't know.
To do a
Doesn't
hit.
really matter. Say a friend sent you a check for your birthday or something.
Oh, yeah, that's what my friends do.
Say your uncle or something sent you a check. Or say, tell your mom that you're getting a check back from donating to the Bernie campaign. That'll make her stop questioning.
That'll make her question more.
Say that it's a check for return of your books.
Dude, my book's still fucking here.
Well, she doesn't know that.
Does she?
Say one of them. Say it was for a class that you dropped.
Yeah, but then that would be going into her fucking bank account.
Say it's for one that you paid for yourself.
I didn't pay for any.
She doesn't know that.
Yes, she does. She pays the fucking bursar bill.
Oh, hold on. Can't you just go? Don't you have mobile deposit?
Hey, what?
If you have an app for your bank, some banks allow you to go and scan the check and just put into your bank account
Oh shit,
directly.
really? I was wondering if, maybe during the coronavirus they would let me like call and be like, yo, Nippers, let's cash this check.
Oh. I mean, some banks allow you to do that, some don't. I mean, which bank are you trying to deposit it into?
First Nationalist Bank, aka First National
I
Bank.
don't know about. Do you have the phone app?
I do.
Look, see if they have a mobile deposit option.
Let's see. Oh no. Let's see. Oh shit, to assist during COVID-19, we are temporarily raising our mobile deposit limits.
Yeah, so, just do that.
Oh yeah,
So,
it's got a little camera in it. Holy shit.
yeah, man. It's technology.
Damn. I will be back up to $400.
That's actually not that high. I mean, I think M&T lets you do like, I think 1,000 or something.
Well, no. I'm saying in my account. I'm at like about 350. Yeah, everybody knows how poor I am.
350.
350. And I think I got a check for around 80 something. I think my reimbursement was, or like 60 or something. It was all the Ubers and Lyfts from CPAC.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Then they'll reimburse that. They finally did.
stream. Because my mom just woke up.
You're not allowed to hear your live stream.
Nah, but she, I think my brother woke her up, but it's getting late anyway. We're running out of shit to say, so we're gonna cut her off. Of course, gotta pull up the YouTube. Well, thank you everyone for tuning into another Real News Quarantine. I do appreciate it. Click the subscribe button if you haven't yet. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all those good things.
And let me know when we're done.
Okay, hold on a second. Jesus Christ. This is crazy. Oh my god. Okay. She's back in.
Jeez, why are you so afraid?
I don't want her to get mad at me. She's got mad at me before for, quote, waking her up. She fucking hears everything. Anyway, thank you everybody for tuning in to Real News Quarantine. Subscribe, like, share, do all that cool stuff. And we'll be delivering you more content then. Stay safe, and as always, wash your hands.